Okay, I'm trying to see if any of these skills really affect Xenon very much. Because part 1 was a while ago. We need to keep continuing. Because the worst part is, what if I don't get all of this done by December 10th? And then we get KMS announcement. And then there's another line of changes. And then we're in this perpetual cycle of being out of date. But, you know, more content to make, I guess. Okay, let's find Xenon. Mega Smasher. If you end charging Mega Smasher while... That's not the real name, I think. While using a keydown skill, the keydown skill will now be cancelled and Mega Smasher will be activated. Yeah. Oh, that's that huge... That's that huge nerf kind of, right? Keklo, Hyperclap. Corey, thank you for the 13 months, my dude. What's good, man? Yo, Scardor. How you guys doing? Overload mode. Plasma current damage has been decreased from 1420 to 355. Hits from a 4 is 12. Is 1420. Okay, that's the same. Hologram gravity fusion. Divided by 5 times 5 lines. Photon ray system message will now be outputted that notifies you if the skill is cancelled due to the disappearance of all enemies being aimed at. You can no longer aim on maps where you cannot fire. If you end charging the Smasher while using a keydown skill, the keydown skill will now be cancelled and Mega Smasher will be activated immediately. That was the major problem, right? That people couldn't like hold on to a Mega Smasher. This is the change, right? This is like the Mega Smasher change. I think so far that consists of small nerf, I think. Because they already changed the cooldown, which made it so that you couldn't charge 2 in a row, but this is going to like automatically make it go off as well once you max it, so the timing is going to be way more important on top of that. That seems to make the cannon a lot more annoying. Maybe even Well, we'll look at the other pieces first. Resistance. Plus one-time mechanic. Reject classes. Oh, that's where Xenon should be. Chill music. You're supposed to be background music, okay? So this class is Battle Mage, and okay, so it's just that. I think that will consist smaller. Okay, next. What is next? Kakarot. Marksman. Are we getting more buffs? Oh yeah, we are getting the biggest buff in the game. We get a ruler. Time to measure your EP in-game. Look at that. Have a link? Yeah, it's this link right here. Judging distance, 1.5 second cooldown, and then pierce arrow movement speed has been increased by 33%. When piercing hits the first enemy in range, 2 fragments will now attack 2 nearby enemies and deal 350% damage 4 times. So the hope is that this will finally speed up early level mobbing. This will not really affect late or end game mobbing whatsoever. It's more to make it a little bit less bad early on because you're only hitting in a perfect straight line and you basically only have one mobbing skill and then the hyper skill later, and that's pretty much it. Sniping arrow speed has been increased by 33%. Doesn't mean that your attack speed goes up, of course, but arrow hits much faster. Illusion step is finally made a passive, which was already part of Pathfinder's kit when it came out. But okay. And then repeating cartridge, 7 to 8. And full burst shots range has been increased by 10%. And the arrows will now be fired from a location closer to the marksman. Okay. I mean, I don't know if this is enough to consist of a small buff. Maybe? Look at what the other ones have to say about marksman. Marksman. Explorer, archers. Bowmaster, marksman. Fix an issue where marksman split arrow, where if the character changed directions after firing an arrow, sometimes the activated direction would change. Never had that. Fix an issue where Pathfinder. Okay, so that's just a small bug fix. I've never had that myself, so I don't really think that's gonna be relevant. And then this one has okay, that's it. I guess I don't know if it's enough of a buff to make it one more arrow and 1/5 job skill, a measuring stick, and a mobbing skill for early game. I guess that's a small buff, but very, very minor. Okay, well, since we're already here, might as well check the Bowmaster as well. Where were we? Boom. Fixing your Bowmasters after image shot, where if the skill's cooldown was reset while the passive effect was activating, you could not instantly use the skill. I think there's another change with that skill upcoming, which is actually pretty huge. Basically, that new skill where they get a charge, where they can nullify part of the damage so they don't get one-tap by things, or hopefully don't get one-tap by things. That skill now, whenever it activates or you lose a charge, it starts counting back from 0 seconds, even if it was already like really close to building another charge. So that's getting fixed somewhere here, but we should read that soon. I think it's not this one, but the other one. Arrow blow, arrow bomb, and flame shot, where other characters saw different actions. No one cares. Wind phrase damage has been decreased 5, 335, 8, 12, 4,000, 12, 3,000, 600, 360, 960, and 60. So 3,000 and 4,020. 4,020 number of hits. Okay, a little bit more damage, but more lines. That's the most important thing. But it's mainly I don't think you ever use this when you're bossing, right? It's mainly just an AoE thing. Some aversion where it would decrease even if holy magic shell block the damage. Oh, that's another fix there. Okay. That's also a little bit too minor for a small buff, but I think the other one should make it definitely a small buff, maybe a big one. Let's see. Flame shot, flames created on platforms that can be ignored. The flames. What did you like? Flames created on platforms. Effect has been removed. Uncountable arrows cast delay has been decreased by 7%. Yeah, it felt a little bit clunky when I was using it. Probably doesn't need that much of a change. Illusion step also passive. Quiver full burst flame arrows have been decreased, so more damage on that. And then the silhouette. Yeah, so they slightly increased it from 45 to 50 seconds, but fixed the issue where if the number of illusions became 0 due to taking damage, the creation time would be reset. So they, so I think that definitely consists of small buff. Definitely. Wouldn't say a large buff, but it's like a large small one, you know? How's the 275 8K push going? Wait, for whom? Not for me. Oh, for JHK. I bet he's doing that. Okay, next one. Pathfinder. Alright. Oh, it should all be super close here. Yes. Pathfinder changes. Retro. Pathfinder's in the chat. Beware. Relic gauge. This will now be maintained after dying. Oh. Actual buff? Question mark? Cardinal transition. The number of speed auras will now be maintained after dying. Also buff. Ancient guidance. This will be maintained after dying. Also buff. Relic evolution. This skill is no longer affected by cooldown resets. I didn't know that it was, but I guess there are like, how many Pathfinders are in parties with Buccaneers, I guess. You burning a Kishi Mule for the 275 push? Okay. That means they're actually going for it, huh? Yeah, some quality of life changes. Ultimate blast damage has been decreased from 4,500 to 900, and lines from 1 to 5. Fix the issue where the attack range was based on the character, regardless of the arrow's location. Oh, they're actually making something the size of what it looks like, rather than just some arbitrary number that's somewhere in the code. That's cool. Relic Unbound fixed an issue where sometimes monsters hit would not die. Well, this seems like nothing but Pathfinder buffs. At least in the first upcoming patch. Let's see what the other ones have to say, though. Maybe the other ones could just completely destroy that. Let's see. Wait, hang on. Sharp eyes, rope, can Overrunning is not activated in locations where other characters' installation already installed. So both are okay. Okay. Fixed issue where Pathfinder's ultimate blast's final damage boost based on the relic gauge sometimes did not apply. Okay, that's a very small thing, but a little bit of quality of life. And then this is only Bowmaster. Okay. I would say that's small buff. Yeah. Things are looking around. Things are coming up, PF. Torrent persistence through death is a massive buff. Yeah, if you... Well, I think a lot of times you die because you run out of torrent stacks, right? If you're trying to rely on the torrent stacks and you still die, then you would have 0. But yeah, if you ever die and you have 3 or 4, the fact that you get them immediately is a really good thing. Magnus boss fight is pure liquid ass. Never really heard someone refer to that boss fight in such a poetic manner, but sure, I can agree to that. What is next? Night Lord. I think they are seeing some positive changes, no? Let's see. Adventure Thieves Dark Side skill description has been updated, so that doesn't matter. Shadow Dual Blade, nothing here. Explore Thieves. Adventure Thieves Sudden Raid has been decreased to 5494, and number of hits from 3 to 7. So that's 450 to, oh god, to 6, 7, 42 to 3, 508. No, 3, 4, 5, 8. Right? Yeah. Wow, 8% damage increase, guys. 8% on a total of 3,450. So it's like 1/400th. Doing numbers right? 1/340th. So that's 0.3% damage increase relative to the damage. Damn, easy buff. Small buff, no. The effect appearance speed has been increased. Oh, thank God, because that shit's so slow. The only effect, there are like a few skills. What do you guys think is the worst, like the slowest skill effect? I think it's that if you're sitting on the Jaguar as a wild hunter, that full map explosion, it's like boom, arrows, detonate, explosion effect, damage. And it's like, bro, I could have used 3 skills in the same time. What's going on? And then the other thing, but that's an iframe on Beast Tamer, so you wouldn't really use it unless as an iframe. But like when you do that cannon thing, and it's like this animation is like 3 minutes. we gotta pick it up here. We gotta pick up the pace just a little bit because this is not working. Dual Blade, nobody cares, at least not yet. And then, where are the other Night Lords? Let's explore these here. Night Lords. Here we go. Skill duration and cooldowns have been adjusted to match their skill usage cycle. Ooh! All the buttons have to be pressed at once now. Mark of the Assassin and Night Lord fix an issue where if the Assassin's mark disappeared, DOT damage like Venom would also disappear. Oh. That's weird. Bleeding toxin duration has been decreased from 90 seconds to 80 seconds, and the cooldown has been decreased from 200 to 180. Okay, so the uptime is like roughly the same. I guess 90 out of 200 is 45%, right? And then 80 out of 180 is, that's a little bit harder. Divide by 9, that's roughly 9 out of 20. So that's, yeah, it's roughly the same. But cycled with everything. And then spread throw duration has been decreased from 55 seconds to 45 seconds. Ooh. Which honestly, is that bad? For some bosses it's bad. But like Hard Lucid Part 3 is only 40 seconds. In Phase 2, like she's always flying around more than that. So it's really difficult to really get too much damage in anyway. Wait, how is that not in here? Wasn't there recently another buff to spread throw where they made the hitbox? They increased the hitbox below. Didn't they do that? It's only in here once. How is that not in this file? Fuck. Oh, because they increased the hitbox of the boss itself, and not. Oh, okay. But that is indirectly spread throw buff as well, a little bit. Who was it? Was it Lotus? Do you guys remember? I think it was Lotus, right? With a bigger negative vertical hitbox, so that your lower arrows would also hit it. I think especially the ones that are on the ground that aren't floating. Lotus had a weird hitbox. Lotus and Damien. Okay. So 55 seconds on 215. Like I can do those maths in my brain. 55 seconds out of 215. So the downtime is 160. That's about 3 times. So it's a quarter uptime. So it's roughly 25%, right? It should be a little bit above 25%. It's 5 and 11th of a percent. So it should be 25.09%. Hang on. 25 divided by 250. Oh, fuck. I should have done the other way around. Whatever. I should have done. Oh, no. I did the wrong number. That makes sense. 0.58%. How was I off by the after the comma? 0.6. Oh, because 2.5 times. No, that would have been wrong too. Fuck. Okay, I shouldn't pretend that I can do beyond the comma. Okay, but a little bit over 25%, and that goes down to 45 divided by or up to. Actually, I think that's. Oh no. Okay, so it's rounded down to 25. Okay, so it's very similar uptime, but now it's linked. So they pretty much just took these numbers by just rounding what this change would do, and to keep the same uptime is what it looks like. Yes. However, 180 seconds is still cringe because we are working off of bind cycles with a 120 second cooldown. So essentially, it's just a nerf. It's only a buff if you're soloing. And who the fuck solos Nightlord endgame? I guess it's a buff. Oh, maybe it's a buff specifically for people like trying to liberate their weapons and shit. But it's. Actually, no. I don't even know if it's a buff for those people. What are your other important cooldowns with 5th job skills? Oh god, there's so much that goes into this. Your what's the important one? Like Ready to Die and Greater Shadow Walker or something? What is that? What is that thief one you guys get? Where are my 5th job thieves in the chat? What are the cooldowns on those big boys? Oh no, wait. One of those Ready to Die is like 75 seconds or something weird like that, right? I think I saw Aidan talk about that. Last Resort, yeah, that's the one. Last Resort is like a really weird timer, right? It's like 75 seconds or something. Throw blasting active affects the number of explosive charms being decreased from 47 to 45. Fix an issue where the attacks that consume the last charm could activate more explosions than the remaining number of charms. Okay. It's 83 seconds? 75 at max. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. 8 and head at 75. Okay. Because you have it at level 25, but not in a level 5 slot or something? Oh, wait, you get that as well as a Hoyoung? Oh, it's like a thief common one. Oh. Oh, level 14. Okay, okay. Thief common, okay. What are the explorer thief ones then? Is it like Shadow Walker? And oh, and the poison one, right? Ugh. The like toxic Venom or something? Something like that? Venom Burst, yeah. Oof. Wait, that's Thief common? Oh yeah, because Xenon can use that. Fuck, you're right. Wait, aren't there two Explorer Thief ones? God, which ones are they? Hang on. There's gotta be like a dark side, advanced dark side or something. Why do I not know this? Common, 5th job, thief, explorer, skills. Fucking Ayumi love. Fee skills. Shade Splitters. Shadow Walker. Wait, that's it? You only get one? Wait, aren't there 2 for warriors? Oh no, that's also common warrior one. Oh, there's only one for memers. Okay, so Shadow Walker, right? Fuck does that do? 30 seconds, initiates a form. That's a 190 second cooldown. Oh, what an awkward timer. But I guess that's 10 seconds extra. It's closer to the... Why do I not have a scroll bar to the side if the text isn't all visible? Why would you do that? Initiates a form of stealth that is not cancelled by skills or attacks. Final damage increased by 16% added on top of Advanced Darkside's final damage bonus. What is Advanced Side? Chance 30%. Dark Side trigger chance 20%. Dark Side final damage 5%. So it's additive to this. Interesting. Make a new spreadsheet? No, just updating existing one. Okay. Okay. So So if you have binds and everything, what's domain? Fuck, what's domain? Is it spirit domain? Is that what it's called? Spirit's domain, close enough. Cooldown is 196 seconds. Yeah, and this was 200 and 215, and now it's 180. So, you know, it's always up with domain rather than being off a little bit, I guess. Yeah, that's probably better actually then, right? No, but you domain every other, so it's always a bit delayed anyway, right? Because you bind, and then you have to wait until the bind comes back. Fuck, what is it? Wait, oh no, wait, it's 90 seconds. So, oh, it's like 100 seconds. Oh, it's 120. It's 90 in between. 15 duration, right? Wait, why does vertible... Oh, that's a boost. Veritable Pandemonium. Yeah, it's 120. Yeah, so the second time you do... So you're waiting 240 anyway. Between one domain starting and the next domain starting is still always like 240. So for parties, for team fights, that means this is a nerf. Because you're going to use it the same amount of times. Because you're going to have to hold it. But you're only going to be able to use it for 45 seconds instead of 55. But I guess if you're soloing, you're able to throw everything into 1/82. So it's both a nerf and and a buff. I would say probably though, because you're already so burst heavy in team fights, you're still getting most of your damage off in like the first 20 or 30 seconds of the spread throw. So I'd be inclined to still make this a small buff, because I think it'll help Night Lords clear those bosses by being able to sync all of their skills better. So they'll be able to do like the Genesis weapon what is the word I'm looking for? Unsealing, I think, more easily. So I think I would still see it as a small buff. But yeah, their BAs are going to go down, which seems contradictory, but you know, you gotta take things into account. The raid thing, did we already look at that? I think we did look at that, right? And then classes, just double checking, but I think we checked that. Yes, we did. Okay, cool. Shadower. Eviscerate when linked to assassinates. Damage has been decreased from 3,800 to 950, but 4 lines instead. So that's the same amount of damage, but better distribution. Okay. Okay. So that's, I mean, technically a small buff if you're capping, which I guess endgame people are. And then the sudden raid, and then that's a dual blade change. Okay, and then memes. Where is he? What's up, Amine? How you doing? I guess you're just using the thief link skill when leveling up a terror burning character. If you have a free slot, yeah, might as well throw it in. They did say that Night Lord syncs with Bishop's 5th job skill. Oh, with Benediction? That would be better then, yeah. But yeah, since we use, so that's more of a KMS oriented change, right, than a GMS oriented change, because we rely on domain. We don't really rely on benediction, so that's why that hits us a little bit differently. It hits differently. It hits differently. And then here, smokescreen, cast delay decrease, veil of shadows, cast delay decrease, shadow assault. The number of usage counts will be shown in the quick slot. That's some quality of life stuff. That seems pretty nice. Is all of that together enough to consist of a small buff? I don't know if that's enough. I mean, if smokescreen and veil of shadows, that does mean that you can set up your burst a bit quicker and start attacking a bit quicker, right? I have to be not too generous with the small buff, though. 2 skills have a little bit of a cast delay reduction, and 1 skill that gets his lines reassigned. Technically, it's a small buff, I guess. I think it's enough to mention. Dual blade. This is going to be nerf, right? I'm pretty sure. High performance with less risk than other classes. So we've changed the conditions for Chains of Hell. Yeah, so Chains of Hell, if the continuous attack is not activated, the invincibility duration will now be only 1.5. So you hack. So basically how Chains of Hell works is that you send out your chains, and then it just gives you, right now if you do that, and it gives you a 3-second iframe. However, you can also smash a skill afterwards, and it'll like teleport you to the thing you're chaining to, and then hit it a bunch of times. So if you only do the first one, where you just send out the change, it'll now only be a 1.5 second cooldown. You have to do the second part as well to get the full 3-second cooldown. And 1.5, if you have high-ish ping, that could be way more volatile. That's way more volatile than 3 seconds, right? So they'll probably have to deliver a little bit of DPS, lose a little bit of DPS when using that iframe, so that they can keep the same survivability that they have now. However, Karma Fury damage decreased from 1,500 to 800 and activations from 3 to 5. That does also mean that they go from 4,500% damage to 4,000. But as those are still pretty big numbers, there's still a good chance, especially in high-level boss fights, that you're still capping. So it'll still be a buff, but I guess it is also, again, like a nerf to early 5th job dual blades. And Tornado's damage decreased from 900 to 800. And the skill's attack can now only activate up to 6 times on a single enemy. So I think that's mainly when you are charging up the tornado and you're jumping into a target while it's charging and then you're throwing it through. I think it hits more than 6 times at that point on the same target. So that'll be a bit of a nerf on that. And then just a general tornado nerf as well. So that would consist definitely of small nerf. Not huge, but I think we can all agree that all 3 of these skills are insanely strong, and they're in the same kit of the same character, so they probably needed a little bit of readjustment. Where is the other team? Explore. Oh, here we go. Fixture of Dual Blade's Maple Warrior was registered on the auto pet buff. It would be continuously used even if another character's Maple Warrior was active. Okay, that's kind of strange. I guess if that took away input, then that would be probably a good quality of life improvement, but I don't know if it did. Do you know how I got this scar? Nice. Yeah, you save channel points and then you use the highlight message option. Thank you for that. Dual Blade's Final Cut duration effect will no longer be displayed while moving in the boat in the Lake of Oblivion. Yeah, I think no one's really losing any sleep over that one. Dual Blade's Asura Enhancement's cores prefix has been changed from Asura to Sura. Well, okay, so that it's all pretty non-consequential. All right, Buccaneer. Fixed an issue where Buccaneer's Hedgehog Buster's description, that's definitely not the name in GMS, did not show the number of hits. Damage increased from 400 to 450. That seems like a lower level skill, right? Cannon Shooter ICBM. Ooh, this one's getting nerfed, isn't it? Damage decreased from 2.4 to 1.6, and number of hits from 4 to 6. So yeah, the number of damage reduced by 1/3, but the number of hits improved by 50%. So that stays the same damage. Fix an issue where the invincibility duration of the prepare action was affected by attack speed. Oh, is that what it is? Fix an issue where if you change maps immediately after using it, the contaminated area would be created on the new map. Oh, okay. No, so that's actually a buff. Wait. Fixed an issue where the invincibility duration of the prepared action was affected by attack speed. Well, shit. No, that means it's a nerf, right? Because if you had higher attack speed, that means it would apply sooner, and that was unintended, so it's not going to apply sooner now, so it's going to apply later, so we have to iframe sooner. That's what it looks like. Okay, that's not enough to consist of a nerf, but it is something to, you got to know what the activation frame of your iframe is, of course. Pretty important. Maybe not as much for Cannoneer, you just like pop it and jump around the map, jump through everything, but wait, that was Cannoneer. We're still doing Buccaneer. Why am I reading that? Okay, Buccaneer. Fiction issue with Buccaneer's Howling Fist, where if they died at the same time as using it, Howling Fist would be activated while dead. Cool. That sounds weird. Probably shouldn't happen. Buccaneer. Reduce the delay of essential skills to help reduce frustration and increasing hunting performance before the 4th job advancement. Oh yeah, that is definitely... Attack range for Somersault Kick increased by 140%. I wonder if they're going to make his leg like 2.5 times the size too. He's going to like swing his leg around. He's going to like Sanji kick. Energy charge, tooltip will now show the current gauge charge rate. Screw Punch, enemy tracking range when linked with Double Spiral has been increased by 200%. Double Spiral cast delay decreased by 10%. Cast delay for Shockwave decreased by 15%. Damage increased from 900... Oh, decreased from 990 to 200. Number of hits increased from 1 to 5. Yeah. I mean, Shockwave just did really big numbers really early on. I don't know if this really does anything, though. Nobody's capping that early on. Why do you care if Shockwave hits 1 line of 5? Does anyone even remotely think about Shockwave as soon as they reach 4th job? Unit of power, cast delay has been decreased by 32%. Ooh. A power unity, I think, is what it's called for us, right? The number of buff stacks will now be shown in the quick slot. Oh, that's a big decrease, actually, 32%. That's pretty huge. Nobody uses it anyways, even in third job, because it's so slow. Oh yeah, it is slow. Well, 15%, so maybe that's going to kick across the map. Yeah, I don't know. Increased by 140% or increased by 40%. I don't know. I guess by 140? If they say so, we'll we'll see. Small buff for Nightler Pog. Yep. I think it's a small nerf when it comes to team fighting, but not that huge. But it is a buff if you're doing like late game and end game stuff by yourself. I'm pretty sure, because it's easier to synchronize all your buffs together. It'll be a little bit shorter, but yeah, shorter cooldowns as well, and similar uptime. The uptime only got nerfed by a little bit, so okay. I mean, I guess Buccaneer early training is a little bit scuffed. I guess I will go with small buff here. Seems fair. Corsair. Wings has become a good standalone skill. Yep, we have added a new feature to Unwearying Nectar to help improve survivability. Quick Draw, you can no longer use this skill while using Rapid Fire and Bullet Party. However, the effect will not apply to those skills. Oh, you can now use it while using... Okay. Okay, cool. Sure. Unwearying Nectar. Status resistance, elemental resistance, and critical rate boosts have been changed to passive boosts. Oh, they did the same with the Demon Slayer skill, right? The skill heals 99% of your max HP when used. A short cast action has been added. Duration has been decreased from 180 seconds to 120 seconds. Cooldown of 120 seconds has been added. The skill is not affected by cooldown resets. Huh. So it's just an active skill now with basically a free power elixir on top of things. So if you have potion cooldown, but you get hit, you can still use this one as like an escape button. Okay. I mean, it's still 2 minute cooldown, so it's not terribly reliable, but it's something. Deadeye damage has been decreased from 1600 to 645. Number of hits increased from 6 to 15, so we're going from 9.6 to 9. Ooh, that's more. 9,000. 200. Oh no, wait, hang on. Fuck, maths. 15. So that with a 0 and then half of that. So 3,250 plus 6,450 is 9.7. Yeah, see, 100% damage increase. Not an insane amount, but yeah, so like 1%, yeah, a little bit over 1% of the damage. Yeah, I don't know if this all consists small buff already. Maybe. Let's see what else they got. Explorer. Well, they're not even mentioned here, and they are maybe mentioned here. No, not mentioned here. Man, fuck small buff, I guess. Cannoneer. Okay, we saw the ICBM change. I don't know if there were changes here. No. And then here. Nani? Oh, here we go. Cannon Spike Castelli decreased by 17. Cannon Bazooka Castelli decreased by another 6. Oh, it was already decreased by like 10% in the Awake update. An even more faster. Big, huge, gigantic cannonball. You can no longer unequip the skill core while it is active. No one ever does that. But the maximum number of activated hits on a single enemy has been decreased from 50 further down to 40. Ugh. And the invincibility duration after firing decreased from 3 seconds to 1.8 seconds. Ugh. Nerf. Rip Cannoneers. Okay, what is next? Jet doesn't exist, so we don't know. How long have we been at this? 40 minutes. Okay, let's do a little bit more. I want to see if we can do all of this in 3 parts. We have 46 classes. 3 parts is 18 every time? 19? No, wait. I'm fucking up. 14, 15. 15, 16. Something like that. I don't know 0 yet. So that's 45. So that brings it to 15 every time. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I did exactly 15 in the first video. Holy shit, how did I manage it? Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, rip bishop, I guess. Okay, explorer, heroes, and and mages. Let's see. Heroes should be up here. Warriors should be up here. Okay. Hero. Brave / attack range increased by 22%. That's a pretty big increase. Oh yeah, because early people hate the early leveling, right? And oh yeah, and they changed enrage. So enrage, when using the skill, instead of the number of enemies hit being fixed to 1, it will now apply to 1/3 of the number of enemies hit by any skill that you can use. The minimum value is 2, except for skills that specifically only hit 1 target. And a cancel effect has been added. Ah, true. Sometimes you can really see it. So that's that'll be pretty interesting. But that seems like a pretty big buff to me. How's my day? My day is pretty great so far, Branson. How's yours, dude? World Reaver damage has been decreased from 16 to 800. Lines from 7 to 14. Boom, full map attack. But that's already. I don't even know if that's small buff or big buff, honestly. And range changing like that. How many targets do you hit with your regular attack? Is it 6? Here. Raging Blow. Max enemies hit 8, and then I think you have a hyper skill to increase that, right? So I wonder if they round up or down. If 8 and you hit 1/3, if that will mean that you can hit 2 or hit 3. But I think there's a hyper that lets you hit like 2 extra or something. Hyper skills, hero, rage spread, 2 extra, yeah. So that'll go to 10. So if you hit, let's say that you hit 2 without and then 3 with, that means you can just train with enrage on, right? And you'll hit up to 3 monsters. Man. So doc link for these changes. It's a combination of classes is what I'm working on, and the doc on the right is right here under the column that I'm working on right now. So these are all the changes that are live in KMS right now, but that we don't have yet in GMS. Wait, so I will have 15 left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah. Amazing. Amazing. Okay. Okay, maybe we can look at all 3 of these at the same time to speed this up a little bit. Okay. Paladin Blast attack range has been moved forward slightly. Range moved forward. Okay, so further away from the character then, right? Because the range didn't increase. Okay, I guess that's fine. Grand Cross damage decreased 7 to 350. Enhanced damage decreased from 12 to 6, but double the lines. That's good because I'm pretty sure late game, end game mechanics. Paladins were definitely capping on that, so that's good. Money only, you can no longer unequip the skill core while it's active. Nobody does that. Fixed an issue where if you registered this skill to a quick slot, then unequip the skill core and then press the hotkey, a message that said you did not have prepared Mjolnirs would be outputted. That's just a meme, okay. Dark Knight, we would like to correct the inconvenience of not being able to use the main 3rd job skill while in the air. La Mancha Spear, you can now use the skill while in the air. Dude, La Mancha Spear is so bad. It's one of those skills that looks like it's going to be so fucking cool and you can't wait to use it, and then you use it and it's so disappointing. When it's used in the air, the final attack is activated immediately and the cast delay will be decreased by 7%. Maybe that'll actually make it usable? Fix an issue if used on the ground where other skills could be used during the attack preparation action. Oh, that's weird. Piercing Cyclone final attacks damage have decreased from 3,000 to 600 and multiplied by 5. That basically means that like late game, basically that end game are just gonna get a cheeky extra damage pog in there. Okay. Oh wait, Adventure Magicians. I totally forgot about this one. Heading 2, I think it was. Yeah, there we go. Oh, that's actually kind of a nerf for people. The only time I've ever had this was in CPAP, where I had like 3 debuffs and I would respawn and then hit him again, and I would get like 2 more debuffs and he'd have 5 at some point. But it'd be like 2 separate stacks, 1 of 3, 1 of 2, something like that. But then the first ones would disappear usually. The acquired life force will now be shown in a quick slot. Fix an issue where the client would exit if you ended the skill during Sue's gravity reversal pattern. Ooh, okay, so good that they fixed that. Yeah, not sure. I say this would consist tiny buffs, Paladin and Dark Knight wise. Hero, big one. Let's see what the other updates do for those, for our adventure warriors. Explorer warriors. Here we go. Fix an issue with weapon aura, where if the arrow was active. Wave activated, other characters would see multiple. No one cares. Fix an issue where after using the adventure open job advancement, the previous job, no one cares. Fix an issue where Dark Knight's Beholder impact hit effect did not appear. Okay, no one cares about that either. Paladin Special Guard now has an on-off cooldown of 1 second. Fix an issue where Dark Knight could use La Mancha Spear while on a rope. Well, where heroes upper charge, is that Rising Rage? Where if it used with a 2-handed weapon, the weapon image would disappear. Okay, well, I feel like the Paladin and Dark Knight buffs aren't big enough to say that they are small buffs. So I'm going to leave those neutral. All right, Ice Lightning and the Fire Poison. The last ones of the day. Let's see. Rib DK not viable anymore? I don't know, man. It was still the first class in GMS reboot to solo Hard Will. So they have some value at some point. Ice Lightning, Fire Poison. What are these guys doing? Fix issue where Adventure Magicians used Infinity through unstable memories, then use Infinity again. The buff icon would flicker. Alright, that doesn't really impact the gameplay very much. Archmage's Fire Poison's element amplification skill description has been updated. No one cares. And if Archmage Fire Poison use Mist Eruption through unstable memorize and then Mist Eruption. If you use it through unstable memory, then Mist Eruption's cooldown would be applied. Okay. That's a small buff, I guess. But do people really rely on unstable memory for anything? Man, that skill feels like such a huge meme. Explore Mages here. Archmage Fire Poison's mana burn skill description has been updated to current logic. Okay. Fix an issue with Flame Haze, where sometimes Poison Mist would not be created if used on enemies in the corner of a map. Oh man, they need to fix that for Arc. Sometimes if you use your bind facing the corner of the map, it'll always be fine. But if you're in the corner of the map facing away from the corner and use your iframe, sometimes the skill will just target something that doesn't exist, and the skill would go on cooldown, but the blissful restraint thing that is supposed to be doing DOT for the whole time of the duration just doesn't show up whatsoever. It's pretty bad. Okay, but this isn't about Arc, okay? This is about Fire Poison and Ice Lightning mages. Fury of Ifrit, where sometimes other characters would hear Ifrit sound effects, where sometimes after installing the Poison Mist, if they used Poison Nova and Mist Eruption within 2 seconds, Poison Nova would disappear. Okay, so it seems like Fire Poison is getting some things fixed. Ice Lightning, not too many changes. on those 2 patches. So these are like the 2 patches in between, like the major balance patches, kind of, right? The next one that we're getting is still is kind of big. Now we got a huge one, but it's only huge because it was actually 3 balance patches in one. So this could also be a pattern that they're going to do, where they're just going to wait until there's a whole sea of balance changes to implement, and then they're just going to do all of them at once. That is also possible. Let's see what they do here. So this one is the big one. Ice, lightning, fire poison. Okay, fire poison. Okay, see, that's a lot of stuff. We would like to reduce the discomfort during lower job advancements by decreasing explosions cast delay and decreasing. Okay, cast delay for explosion decreased by 21%. Fixed poison mist issue where the skill could sometimes deal damage to mimics. Oh, there's those little green dudes, right? Mist eruption changes the damage has been decreased from 185 to 45. So small damage decrease, but 4 times the length. Skill is no longer affected by cooldown resets. Oh. Meteor cast delay has been decreased by 6%. Is that even noticeable? Damage has been decreased from 470 to 315. Hits from 8 to 12. So from 3.76? 3.76 to 3.76. Right? 315. 63 3775. Damage increase. Flame haze damage has been decreased from 504 to 202. Number of hits has been increased from 6 to 15, so 3024 to 3030. Fix an issue where if an enemy that was hit died, they would not disappear. That is cringe. Okay. If your damage has been decreased from 450 to 150, triple lines, tripa linesky. Megiddo Flame, 700 to 420. 420 flame it. 9 to 15, so 6.3 to 6.3. Cool. DOT Punisher final damage reduction when multiple fireballs hit a single enemy has been increased from 25 to 35. Ooh. Ooh. I think that overshadows any change here. And then Poison Nova damage has been decreased from 1,000 to 500. Numbers doubled, 900 to 450, and that's doubled. I think, I think that this final damage nerf here kind of offsets any positive that can come from any of that. But they do get some bug fixes after that. What was this later thing here again? Mist eruption and stuff. Yeah, this was only cooldown stuff. Man. I don't know how... I think the DOT Punisher is actually quite a big chunk of their damage. So I would be inclined to put small nerf down. I would have to see it though. Does it though? The dude was capping in dojo. Yeah, there was a guy capping in dojo. Was it KMS? It was KMS Reboot, I think. A dude was capping with that skill in dojo, where you do 10% of your damage. Yeah, and then the other one, okay. And then the Ice Lightning, Thunderstorm duration will now be shown in the buff icon. You can now cancel this skill by right-clicking it. Nice. Cast delay has been decreased from Blizzard 6%. Lines reach, okay, that's the same as Fire. But the Fire always does a bit more damage, right? Not sure why, but, you know. From 3,600 to 3,612. Damage has been decreased. Wait, why did they do it to 301%? If they did it to 300%, it would be exactly... It would have stayed exactly the same. I feel like there's just like programmers in this game who feel like they don't get to do what they want. So sometimes they just sneak in these small things to see if anyone will notice that there are actually humans there that are working on this. and to like acknowledge that they exist. It's like, hey, whoever is this guy working in Korea, I see you, okay? I it's like an avatar, like, no, I see you, you know, like it's not like you're visually there, but like I see you, you know? Okay. Enough about the blue people. By the way, 3 more Avatar movies coming up. Mark your calendar, although they'll probably be delayed by like years at this point. Elkines, damage divided by 3 lines, whatever. Cool beans. Lightning Sphere, damage has been decreased, excuse me, for Dion. From 200% to 105. Finish damage has been decreased from 1500% to 350. Number of hits has been increased from 7 to 15. What does that mean? So more damage gets dealt during the key down, and if you miss that final hit, it's not that big of a deal anymore, I guess. Overall damage is probably roughly the same, but more front-loaded, which is fine because, you know, if a monster gets out of your bind or moves away, and then the final hit doesn't hit a lot of the times anyway, and it's the damage of the skill is maybe a little bit too reliant on that hitting. Yeah, I could see it as a little bit of a buff for Ice Lightning, a little bit. Because Lightning Sphere does end up doing quite a bit of your damage. And it's going from 1400 to 1575. So that's 175 damage increase. Wait, is it? Hang on. 1400. Wait, I know I can do these maths. 1,575%, yeah, and going from 1,400, so 175 increase on 1,400, so it's more than 10% damage increase on the early key down. I would say it's a small buff. All right, that should be roughly 1 hour. Yes, of more updates. So we got all the way from Xenon down to Fire Poison. Seems that Hero is getting some love here, just like Demon Slayer. Someone likes Warriors up there in KMS. Remember, though, changes that are made for KMS might make perfect sense, or better sense at least, for KMS, and specifically for KMS non-reboot. How those changes affect us in GMS reboot is, of course, 2 worlds removed, not even the same server with the same rules, but also the same server, the different version of the game within a different server. So therefore, sometimes some of these buffs will make perfect sense, and some of those will seem really, really weird. And that's just how it's always going to be. You know, you can think of it as balance changes for ARAM if you're playing ARAM, some things might, you know, mess you up or something. Again, I don't know about league balancing, so maybe it's a complete bad analogy. If you're playing Assault in Smite, okay, and they might do some item changes, it might be really weird, but they're not balancing for you. They're balancing for the Rift, for Conquest, okay? All right, part 3 following soon. See you guys then.